Um, right. Okay. So I had given this as part of the preparation to say out these colors quickly, and I'm hoping some of you would have tried it. So, how was the experience? What happened, then what you did, and so on? Share.
Hi, Ratnesh. So when I was trying this, it was fine. But when if I did it fast, it was fine. But if I just took a minute, I used to go into the logic like, okay, what color? What am I reading? Even though I was doing it right, at some point I used to stop myself and be like, okay, am I doing it right? Types. So
Hmm. So you're
I,
saying, yeah, sorry, uh, you're saying something.
yeah, so even if I was doing it right, at some point I used to stop myself and I'm like, okay, am I still am I going somewhere wrong? Did I do something wrong even though I was doing it right? So yeah, so that was the main thing. Otherwise it was okay for me.
Hmm. So you're saying you could do it fast.
Yeah, I actually do this with my son a lot, so so I've got a little practiced with him.
Okay.
Hi, Ratnesh. So when I tried this, it was difficult for me because I was mixing up, of course, the actual written word with the color, and so it was. I read it as red, but when I put more effort, when I took focused more, that is when I was actually able to do it, and it was not very fast. It was just the medium speed, and I started and I was able to finish it, but I was still, it took me a while to gather my thoughts and read the color and not the word.
Okay. So what I understand, you're saying initially you found it difficult, then you tried some method, which I will ask you what method you tried to for focusing on
Mhm.
it, and then you could get some speed. You're saying some moderate speed. Yeah. So,
Yes.
so what did you try? How did you move from it
Um,
being difficult to it being okay?
so I started focusing on the color of the letters. So more focus on the color and not the figure, as in the letter.
Right, the
Because when
text.
I looked at it as a whole, like a whole, like just the word, it was
Mhm.
difficult. But I only looked at the color, so not the word. That made it easier,
Okay.
and not focusing and not giving any thought to the letters, alphabets, but
Mm-hmm.
just trying to uh, look at the color and not the letter.
Sure, sure. Okay. Anybody else who tried a different strategy, meaning as in you also moved from difficult to a decent speed, but you used another way of doing it? So a couple of people are saying, okay. So Tana said that she saw the color of the first letter. Okay. And you could do it reasonably fast.
Yeah, I mean, not like super fast, like
Mhm.
perfection, but yeah, it was good enough.
Okay. You will call it quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So that's the another strategy. Just see the first letter or last letter or whatever. Anybody else with a different way of or different experience?
Hi, what I did was I strained my eyes a little bit, like making them a little more smaller. So then reading the letters were a little difficult. All I could see was the color from a little distant. So then it became way easier to not be able to read and only see the color.
Okay. So some kind of you said some kind of squinting kind of a thing. Okay,
Yeah.
right, and that helped you to do it quickly.
Yes.
Okay, okay, cool. Anybody else? Somebody you think who can do it real quick? Maybe give a live demo or do it right now. Somebody who thinks, yeah, I can do it fast, and then we'll learn from you. Somebody wants to try? Okay, nobody wants to try. That's fine. Uh, any thoughts after doing this? You tried whether you were fast, slow, then you tried something else, tried a different strategy, um, and now you heard different people sharing different strategies. So that's obvious. People will try different things. But any other thought coming out of this whole activity? Not about the activity, but in general. What could this be about?
It's about looking at a situation from a whole different perspective, like not the usual, but trying to approach it from a different angle.
Okay, okay, interesting. Anybody else?
Hi, this is Praveen.
Yeah, Praveen.
I feel like reading is somewhat okay, but this quickly is something difficult.
Okay. Why is that? Why is quickly difficult?
Uh, some mistakes are happening because we are going in a flow, and in between some words turn. I read as what it is written.
Okay.
That's what when I was trying it, still practicing.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So what is all this saying? Somebody saying we are wired differently. Somebody saying right brain
It is like
activity.
training your mind to do something else when
Mhm,
it is actually wanting to do something else.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the mind is wanting. Why is this mind wanting to do something else? I mean, nowhere it says read the word. So why should the mind want to read the words?
By habit.
Yeah, you're so used to it.
Mm-hmm.
That is more easy to perceive. Like
Huh?
if I read it
Really? Yeah.
like red,
You say it's easier to read than to see colors?
yeah, it is more easy. Like
You learned the
when
colors first and then you learned
first,
reading
yeah.
later on.
But when I started doing this exercise, my son was so good at it because he didn't know to read the letters, so
Yes,
he
absolutely.
got it perfect all the time.
So it should be the other way around, right? I think in a day we see more color than we see more text, than we see text, right? Okay, anyway. Any other thought, not how you did, but about the whole thing, if something is coming to your mind? Anyway, I'll move ahead also so you can still share the thought. Um, so this is perhaps the only session where there is the title of the session may not be familiar to all of us. The title of the session is called Habits of Mind. I don't know if many of you have heard this term before. Um, uh, has anybody heard? Has anybody would like to share what you think is habits of mind? Not what you think, not a guess, but if you have heard and you think this is what habits of mind is. Um, so you can share. Meanwhile, I will continue talking. So please interrupt me if you want to share what you think is habits of mind. So I'm not really going to define what is habits of mind, but I take an analogy. I use an analogy. Um, of a computer, of us being like a computer. Uh, and I've broken down the computer into primarily four things. In the center is beliefs, which I think is like our computers have a hard disk where we save all our documents. So to me, the documents, the hard disk is what our beliefs are. Based on our experience, we form a belief and we save it there. And when something new happens, when something happens, we access that file. Suppose I went to a restaurant and I found the dosa was very good. So I saved that in that file called dosa file. And next time I feel like having a dosa, I open that file and say, hey, that restaurant. And I go again to that restaurant. Right? So that's how my beliefs are. And if somebody comes back and say, what a horrible dosa that shop is, then that's a contrary file. And I'll have a clash with that person. No, 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 I think the dosa is awesome, and so on. So we'll have a little contradiction there. But the interesting part, or the good part, I would say, or the fortunate part is it's just a hard disk. I can always open a belief, inspect it, edit it, change it, even completely delete the file from my hard disk so that it has space for new beliefs. Isn't that very interesting or very welcoming? That I can change any belief, I can delete any belief, I can replace it with a new file, and so on. It's just a hard disk. It's not a permanent thing, right? So that's the analogy part of the hard disk. The other part I relate to computer is the processor, is our ability to think, which is what we have been talking in the last two sessions. The session of empowerment, that it's what do we want? Do we want the child to think, child to solve, child to understand, child to figure it out, child to make decisions, child to figure out right and wrong, child to appreciate himself, and so on. So what is that based on? That's based on the child's ability to be able to think. So thinking to me is like the processor in the computer, which is kind of going grrr and kind of processing every task that is given to the child when we yeah. So different processes could be a little slower, faster. Praveen was saying quickly was a problem. So Praveen's processor was working a little slowly in this particular case, like that. So but the processor is there. Slow or fast, who cares? Really, Praveen, I'm with you. So that's the processor part. Then in our computers or in our phones, we have different apps. Gunjan saying my voice today is not so clear. Is that true for others? Or is it clear for others?
It's clear.
Okay. Okay, so it's fine for a few more people. Oh, few people is fine, few people is not fine. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Let me know if it is not at all okay. I'm primarily using the same headphones, so that should be okay. Okay, so where was I? I was with programs. So all our all our programs or apps, as we call them, are the different intelligences that we have. I'm not going to go too much in detail about intelligences today, but primarily we are saying that if you want to paint, you use a paint program. If you want to take a photograph, you use a photography program. If you want to do some calculation, you use spreadsheet, right? So we use different programs for different tasks. In the same way, we have many intelligences and we use different intelligences um, to kind of do different things in our life, right? And we'll talk more about these intelligences in the next session. So that's on multiple intelligence. The interesting one is this thing called operating system. So if till now you kind of agree with the analogy that I've been talking about, then there's one more thing in the computer which is very interesting. Obviously, there is input output. So we also have senses and all that. So the senses relate to all the mouse, keyboard, screen, blah, blah. So actually, if you see the computer is pretty much similar to us. So now, what is this operating system? In our phones we have Android or iOS. In our laptops we have Windows 10, 8, or Linux or Apple. So in our computers, we have an operating system. But do you think we have an operating system in us also? And what is that? And have you thought about that before? That what is this operating system? You kind of start your computer and you boot your Windows or the Android boots and everything runs on the Android. But what is this operating system in us? Any thoughts?
Mind.
Sorry?
It can be mind.
Actually, if you see, mind is all of these. So it's not mind. Mind is also the processor. Mind is also the intelligence. Mind is also the beliefs. So mind, you can say, is the laptop. When we say me, it includes me, my mind, my hands, my everything. So it's not the mind, definitely. So what is the operating system?
The way I operate,
What does that mean?
like if I go from some of the road which I known and very clear about this road, so I always walk on that road only. That that road is a particular,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying you go on a particular road. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It always and always, because like if I talk about operating system,
Mm-hmm.
I just got one word. This is the way I operate. This is the way I go every day. This is the way how I eat. This is the way.
Mm-hmm. I would say, I don't know. Maybe are you confusing it with your style? When you say this is the way I eat, that to me is a matter of style. That's your style of eating. Maybe you eat with hand or you eat with a fork and a knife.
Right.
But that's more like my style of doing it. I'm sure everybody has their style of walking, talking, uh, but that's more like the settings on your laptop. Somebody has a different screensaver, somebody has different something, somebody has more brightness, less brightness. I'm not sure if that is what is operating system, but maybe part of it what you're saying makes sense. Any more thoughts? Has my by the way, has the audio improved? I did some
100% improve. 100%
100%
improve.
improve. Oh, really? Okay, I did some settings change. Okay.
Ratnesh, Twinkle here.
Yeah.
Our body is the operating system.
That's just the hardware. And those are the wires, the nerves, and the muscles. Okay. Okay. So it is not a trick question or anything. It's not that I'm expecting you to kind of reply that. I just wanted to know where you are. That's fine. And I wanted to present this model. I quite like this model myself, so I keep sharing it with everybody. So yeah. So if you feel now that okay, I'm little. I also wanted you to become a little curious. What is this habits of mind, right? So we'll spend a little time discovering those habits of mind, and then maybe the rest of the session we will after discovering it what it is, we will see how we can work on those if we want to work on those, or rather use this concept to understand ourselves and work with children. Yeah. So if I've kind of ignited little curiosity, okay, I understand what is processor, I understand what is hard disk, I understand what are program, now what is this operating system in me, and then hang on, we'll hopefully find out. Yeah. Are you excited?
I
Yeah.
Yep. But I find that
Sorry.
I find that habit of mind, yeah, like operating system have some connection with hard drive also. Like beliefs, if beliefs is a hard drive, then there would be some big connection of habits of mind, like operating system with beliefs.
See, everything is connected. Finally, they are all in our mind, in our body. So, yes, meaning without doubt, everything is connected to each other. Even programs will depend how well the programs will depend on beliefs. If you think you're not good at art, you will maybe not even open your art program,
right? So they're all interrelated. So that goes without doubt. That's why they're part of the same.
Important. If the processor is fast, then operating system is automatically fast. Okay,
Maybe,
that way
maybe,
it is all. Yeah.
maybe. I don't know if I agree with that, but I say maybe. We'll see what happens, right? But the idea, yeah, they're all part of the same system, so they are anyway interdependent. That goes without saying. Yeah. Okay, so if I have kind of ignited your curiosity, let's spend little time, maybe about, let's say, half an hour, to understand what is this um what is this thing called operating system. But right now, just keep that aside. We'll do an activity, and later on we will kind of see what that leads to, right? So let's do a small activity to or rather an experience, not even through an activity. All right. um, Now the activity goes like this. Just one moment. um, okay, let me pull up the whiteboard. Okay. Right. Oh, yeah. So what's the activity? The activity has two things. One is that there is an objective and there is a task, right? What's the objective? The objective is to understand others' point of view. What is the objective? The objective is to understand others' point of view. Yeah. Is the objective clear? Please give me a confirmation in the chat window.
Yes.
In the chat window, please give me a confirmation that, yeah, this objective is clear. All right, let me draw a neat little box around it. Okay, cool. Um, Now, how will we do the activity is that I will give you a statement and you will have to take a side. So you can either agree to that statement or you can disagree to that statement. And based on whether you agree or disagree, I'll just write it down on the screen, your name, so we will know which side you are, right? And and then you will start talking to each other. So whoever wants to speak can unmute and then speak with each other. I will typically be on mute. And yeah, that's basically the activity. So it's just two steps. Whichever statement I give, agree or disagree with it, and then you can start talking or with each other. Yeah, is the instruction clear? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, clear.
Okay, cool. So let's see what's the first statement. Let's say, um, okay. So the first statement is love marriages are better than arranged marriages. Yeah, that's my first statement. Now, you can either agree to it, yeah, or you can disagree to it. If you agree to it, please write in the chat window, agree. Okay. If you disagree to it, write the word disagree. So we will know where you are. You are in the agree group or you are in the disagree group.
Is there no midway?
No, not for this activity. We are
Okay.
not talking about life. It's just an activity. So, right. Uh, yeah. So others can also see in the chat window who is agreeing, who is disagreeing, and I'll also put that on the screen. But meanwhile, you guys can start. You can start talking. I will mute myself, and I would. Um,
Yeah, I do agree. If anyone wants to come up who is saying I disagree. I disagree because see, God has a plan for all of us. We just follow destiny, irrespective of whether it is love marriage. So arranged marriages are always better. You just have to follow destiny.
Okay, the first point you said is the midway, right? But yeah, what about why you disagree with that? Of course, God has of course the best plans with him. So that's the midway. Like both are fine, but then the purpose here is that you are disagreeing, right?
This is stages, and I'm on the side of agree. And if God have the best plans, then God have that plan also that I do love marriages and it got better.
So, Gayatri here. So, I'm of the view that whether it's a love marriage or an arranged marriage, it all depends on the partners. There is nothing is better than the other thing. So, the statement cannot be. It's a very general statement, and you can never make generalizations because each and every marriage is different. So, I don't agree with this saying love marriages are better than arranged marriages.
I agreed because I can see the pros and cons of both the parts, right? So it's like that's why I agreed. It's of course depends on the partners.
Right.
But
So,
then why do I agree? That's the thing, because there are some pros which I really
Okay,
appreciate
okay, pause,
love
pause,
marriages.
pause,
Yeah.
pause, everybody. I'm just wanting to remind that the objective of the exercise is not to tell why you agree or disagree. The objective of the exercise is to understand others' point of view. Just a reminder. Thank you very much.
I
We
would
were
like
we were
to
enjoying the fight.
I would like to understand Pooja's side to it. So that is I would like to know what Pooja is saying. What is her side to
Why? This
saying
is a
why?
this is a good turn in the picture.
Sim. My point of view is like love marriages are of course good, but because I think that if two persons are knowing each other well from some time, and they decided they took the decision that they need to get married, so the time matters to understand a person. And that's then taking a decision is better than arranged marriage. Yeah, guys, that's my point of view.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I also want some add just we carry on.
Yeah, Tejas, I'm done. You can continue.
Yeah, I also agree side because I have one. Let this back first. If anyone have a so Gayatri, what I want to ask you, what is your point of view about love marriages?
Yeah, I sorry, I'm not able to see your name.
Yeah, this is Tejas.
Hi. Uh, so my point of view is the reason why I'm saying is I've seen so many love marriages break up just like arranged marriages too. So this statement of it's a very general statement. You can never say that all love marriages are better. So I'm not saying that arranged marriages are better also, but my thing is it is just not doesn't make sense, the statement.
I want to know about your views about marriage, whether it is love or arrange or whatever is you feel better.
I don't feel anything is better than I don't feel one thing is better than the other thing. So I I don't feel anything actually.
Okay. So I invite what are others view like Preeti, Gunjan, or Lakshmi.
Okay,
What
hi,
are
this is
your views? Yeah.
Lakshmi. My view about this is that I've had an arranged marriage, and I always am towards arranged marriage, because if in according to what I have seen, is that when two people love each other, they have the same kind of expectation after marriage, but after marriage you have the role changes, there's so many other people, responsibility level changes, and because they can't hold the same expectations, they fight a lot. So but with arranged marriages, I think you grow with
Okay.
the role that you are and the role that you're going on. So I always feel arranged marriages work better than the love.
So you mean to say the expectation of the other person before
Yeah,
marriage was different, and that
yeah, because
expectations
see,
have a different issue.
when the same person is your boyfriend, you can't expect them to be the same way after their husband. So I think many people find it difficult to accept that change. So especially when it comes to love marriage, so I always feel arranged marriages are better.
Okay, that is your views. Fine. And
Yes.
even from the agree side, if they want to share other views, like I
So
want
why,
to share one view. Yeah,
Tejas,
I
can
want to
I
share.
know your view why you are towards love marriage?
Yeah. So there are the understanding before understanding also a lot of small things got covered in love marriage, like if you go in little arranged marriage, so you first explore that person, right? In love marriage, you have already explored a little bit on that person, and you are ready to go for the
Okay, Tejas,
next level.
Tejas, why are you saying whatever you are saying now?
Because I feel
Yeah, but
that
what's the objective of the activity?
got it. All right, I don't have to prove that love marriage is better or that is better. I have to understand other point of view.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is to understand the other's point of view and respect it. Yeah.
Now it's getting a little tricky.
Okay, so Abhishek has a doubt. Well, Abhishek, you have to figure out how you can understand others' point of view. As far as you are concerned, that's your objective. Let's not bother about um, what others think, or what others do. You focus on fulfilling the objective. Let's try that way.
Okay, can I give my point of view?
Why?
I just feel like speaking.
Exactly. So that's the whole point, right? So see what is happening. Even people who have not spoken, Abhishek has not spoken, Bharti has not spoken, Priya has not spoken, Bhuvna has not spoken. So many people have not spoken. Savita has not spoken, and some of you have spoken. Just think, even when somebody was speaking, what were you doing? Where was your mind? Were you thinking about your points? Were you, kind of kind of getting ready to either verbally or even non-verbally, in the sense inside your mind, kind of put your feelings, your point of views, your argument, or whatever you want to call it. Uh, but if you're doing that, then that's not the point. That's not the objective at all of the exercise. The exercise objective is totally different. It is to understand others' point of view, isn't it? So take a pause and say, hey, what is happening here? Why are we wanting to say, can I say my point of view? So
We should
what's
try again.
yeah, we will try again. I'm not saying I'll change the topic. We will try again. Um, but I want you to little share if what do you think is happening here? So,
Protecting. It's about protecting my point of views. The talk was somewhere
Um,
went in my case, I would say.
the same thing is happening like we did in the previous activity. Like the habit of reading is has been so powerful that we can't see the color.
mhm, mhm.
So here also to put up my point of view, the habit of putting my point of view has been so increased that I forgot to get others' point of view.
Okay. Okay. So interestingly, you're also
Mm.
using the word habit because that's what habits of mind sessions. Right. So I hope
Yeah.
you're getting a slight idea as to what this whole habit of mind is. Um, uh, Before we go on to doing another round of this, uh, so at least we are now aware that hey, there is some habit. We are just using the word habit. Uh, is there's some habit or there is something inside us which is wanting us to operate in this way, or wanting to share my view, or saying that my view is right, or whatever is happening inside you, because I don't know what all is happening inside you. I'm just trying to show you that maybe there is something happening inside you. So that's your operating. That's how you are operating. That's the operating system, or that's the habit of mind. Now that you're kind of little aware of this habit of mind, uh, let's see what you can do about it, right? But before you do something about it, there's this whole question that do you want to do something about it? Okay, so let us say this objective of understanding others' point of view. You think that's a good objective to have in life? To understand others' point of view, is that an objective you would like in general, not as an activity, but in general, you think that
Yes.
that's an important, or that's a valuable, uh, let's call it habit, let's call it, or whatever. Would you want an operating system which works on understanding others' point of view? Yeah, sometime. Okay. Okay. No, at least it's your part of operating system. So you don't need to see, there's in our operating system, in our computers, people who are in IT would would possibly help me. There's something called as services, which are part of the operating system. Not that all services are working all the time, but depending on what is required, the services come automatically start in the background, and you don't even realize that. So would you want to have a service called understanding others' point of view? Yeah. Is this a kind of a part you want it to be part of your operating system? If you were to design an OS for yourself, you know, uh, Windows 1001. So, so let's see. Many of you are saying, yeah, at least sometimes, or definitely, or yeah, yep. Okay. So keeping that, it can be an important or a reasonably valuable habit of mine. Let's see how we can do it, right? Because if we do it, it would make sense, right? So till now so I'll change the topic, and you again tell me whether you agree, disagree, and this time since you feel, or if you feel it is important or valuable, then see if you would like to try it out in some way. Like Abhishek was saying, how will I do it if everybody is trying to do the same thing? Maybe not. Maybe you can. So let's try. At least you can. Whether others are doing, not doing, doesn't matter, right? So let's change the topic. Okay. Okay. Let me go with my standard ones. Okay. A beauty contests are contests are harmful for the society. That's the statement. Are harmful for the society. Yeah, that's my statement. I hope you can see that beauty contests are harmful for the society. You can say agree or you can say disagree. That's your choice. Quite a few agrees here. Okay, and you can start the discussion. I'm just typing it out, and while
So this time I want to know from Gayatri again. Gayatri, can you tell me why you are agree to this? What is your concept?
I think it's when you say beauty contests are harmful for the society, I agree because it is, according to me, placing importance on external appearance. And when you conduct a contest like that, you're giving the impression to everybody that that is something that matters a lot. And I feel, especially in today's world, everybody is focused more on external, whatever is on the outside. So we are, I mean, it's my opinion again. So instead of that, maybe we could do something else, like spend time and energy on something else. So I don't find any, productive thing coming out of this, because it is creating a lot of uh, misconception.
so
And
Gayatri, why did you share whatever you shared?
because I think they
Somebody
just
asked.
asked.
Yeah.
Yes,
But what's your objective?
I wanted to give a reply to the
Yeah, yeah.
question.
But what's your objective of this exercise? Your objective.
My objective was to convey what I
No, no,
thought.
no. What was your objective of the activity?
The activity was to understand others' point of view.
Yeah, but you didn't do that. You did something else. You conveyed your point of view. Your objective was to understand others' point of view. So see, if you can, even when you are asked, uh, maybe you can do something so that you still understand others' point of view. If
So
it is,
by question,
if it is, I don't know how. That I leave to you. If it is important to you,
right.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I would
Let's
like to know. I would
wait,
like to
wait, wait, wait,
know.
wait, 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 wait. Let's carry on. Let's carry on the discussion. So, yeah, yeah. So people, go ahead.
Yeah. So I want to know the other point of view. I want to know Tej's point of view.
It's
Sorry,
Tejas
not
versus
Tej.
Gayatri.
Sorry. So I'm very sorry. Who posed the question to me?
It doesn't matter. Does it matter?
No, I would like the other's point of view from the other side.
Okay, sure. Guys, go ahead. Some of you are totally quiet. Don't be quiet. Do something. You have an objective. Staying quiet and thinking in your own mind, that's not the objective. The objective is to actively understand others' point of view. So do something.
I want to reply to Gayatri.
Wait. Tejas, wait. Hang on. Tejas, Gayatri, hang on. I just want others to also explore. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Okay, Gayatri, I understand your point of view, like
Mm-hmm.
where you coming from. So yeah, that is like one point of view, but like uh I disagree with that because like there,
Wait, Gunjan. What are you doing? First of all, uh, you're just
no,
saying
there
that.
there are two points of view.
Wait. So just observe what you are doing. One, you are saying I understood your point of view. In one sentence, you have already understood her point of view, right? You have understood all the thoughts of hers that we haven't even heard. right? That means
Yeah,
you're not.
because somewhere, somewhere I also.
Thama, thama, right? So see where you're operating from. In one sentence, you've already understood, and then you want to give your point of view. But what is the objective of the exercise? The objective of the exercise isn't to tell whether you agree, disagree, and what's your point of view, or is it really to understand her point of view? While and her point of view can't be one sentence she has just shared, but there could be 100 thoughts, 500 experiences behind it. We haven't explored anything. Yeah, the objective of the exercise is to understand others' point of view, not
Okay,
to
so
share your agreement, disagreement.
Gayatri, can you elaborate?
Ah, that's much better. That's much better. That's a good switch. Yeah.
Like, do you have a personal experience whereby,
Ah,
like, you think that beauty contests are harmful for the society?
wait. Again, observe what are you saying. If you are saying, do you have a personal experience, you're putting me on the back foot. Oh my goodness, now I have to come up with a justifiable, good enough personal experience. That's not an invitation. That's almost like an
Right.
interrogation. That's almost like pushing the other
Yeah.
person back. If you want to invite, say, oh, I'm dying to hear more about you, yaar. Tell me all your life stories, man. You know what I mean? So an invitation is different, and whatever. Pushing back is different. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, people try. Anybody can speak. Sorry.
Ratnesh,
Preeti, can you please? Yeah, continue.
Wrinkle here. You are telling Gunjan to understand
No.
Gayatri.
Let's not discuss. Let's do the act. Let's continue the activity.
No, just I'm just
No,
asking
don't
if
ask. We'll ask later after the activity. Let's continue the activity.
okay, if I understand others' point of view, so I have to
No,
shut
do
up.
it, do it. No. You don't have to shut up. That's your assumption. That's an assumption.
And others, mm,
Okay. Don't talk. Only talk to the group, not about the activity, about the topic.
uh, okay, Gunjan, I want to know your point of view.
But I just asked Gayatri to elaborate on her. I think let's first understand her point of view.
No, I just want to know your point of view. What you think for beauty contest?
I feel it's okay. I mean, there are other like harmful things. Let's abolish them first, and later we can come to beauty contest.
Okay. So for the society, it is not harmful.
I mean, there are other important issues which need to be like, taken care of first, environment being one and others. So, I mean, like, let's not bother so much about the beauty contest. Let's focus on other important things.
I am doing that only. Okay.
Yeah, so I think we are on the same side.
Yes.
So, Gunjan, do you actively work for the environment or something? Is that very dear to you? I'm like, what are the things that you feel are more harmful to the society than this? Like, could you explain or could you let me know?
Yeah, I try to do my bit, like, saving electricity in my home or probably not using so much plastic bags. So, creating maybe awareness among the people in my immediate environment, something of that sort. So, yeah, environment is currently an important issue. So,
So, Gunjan, just based on what you've said, I think you're saying there are more important issues to think about than beauty contests and saying they are bad or something, which means that you don't have a very strong feelings about not having beauty contests or having them. instead of like saying no, I'm against for it or completely for it. Is that a good?
No, I'm not against it and I'm not like
Yes,
for it. But
that's
I mean,
that's what I was trying to.
it's the contestants' choice if they want to like enter the beauty contest. I mean, they're not they're not really like so harmful to the society, like maybe pollution or environmental issues or the safety issues or for that matter many other issues.
So do you enjoy beauty contests, Gunjan? Like, do you
Like
watch them?
watching on
Yeah.
television.
Yes.
I
Do
think
you watch them? Do you follow them? Like, do
I
you?
must have watched in when I was a teenager, probably not since past 10, 12 years. I think I haven't watched.
Okay. Okay.
I think I saw the Aishwarya Rai one.
Okay, that's really old.
Yeah, Preeti, I really wish to know your point of view. That why you disagree that beauty contests are harmful.
Yeah, because may I know who's asking me? Pooja.
Pooja, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Pooja. So, what I feel is the way we have business awards, advertising awards, I personally don't find it wrong if there is an award for beauty. And most of these award shows that we are seeing are beauty with brains. Although I don't kind of believe in it fully, but I absolutely see no harm in choosing the most beautiful contestant.
Okay, okay, pause.
Mm.
Preeti, like, I've got my opportunity. Damn.
No, but I like that point
Yeah,
that
yeah,
beauty
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah,
brain
yeah,
is
yeah,
should
yeah.
be.
Okay. Don't get
But
caught up with the topic. Get
top,
caught up
huh?
with the objective. You guys are all getting caught up with the topic. Let's get caught up with the objective. So, Preeti,
But
yeah,
yeah.
Preeti, you were asked something, and the moment she finished, yes, you started off with a yeah.
But
Da.
because
Wait.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm saying you have been asked a question. Okay.
Hmm,
Okay.
hmm.
Now, what is important to you at that moment? Sharing your point of view or understanding others' point of view?
Ratnesh, both. I'm like, there's no harm
No, but
sharing my point
I'm
of
not
view.
saying there's any harm. I'm not talking about that there's any harm. I'm saying which is more important to you because that's the objective of the activity.
So I heard Gunjan's objective
No,
and I tried to support her.
wait. No. Let's not go to Gunjan. I'm saying somebody asked you a question and you jumped on with your thoughts, which are very dear
Right.
to you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Right? How
Hmm,
about saying my thoughts are not dear to me? Others' thoughts are
right.
more dear to me.
Hmm.
More dearer, far more dearer than my thoughts.
Okay. I can change that belief or that thought. Yeah.
So if you do that, then what would be your response?
What would I say?
Yeah, somebody asks, what do you think about? Why do you disagree? Blah blah. And now you say my thoughts are not important. Then what would you say?
What about you? What are your thoughts on it? Do you agree, disagree?
Hmm? Maybe you will start with that. What else can you say? One is obviously you can throw the question back to the other person. But that way, Abhishek was wondering if everybody keeps throwing back the same question at each other, what is your thought? What is your thought? Then think nothing will move on.
Yeah.
But is that the
Hmm.
only way? Come on, I'm sure we can find better ways of Biden as compared to just throwing back the question. How else?
Hmm.
Ratnesh,
Hmm.
Savita here.
Yeah.
What I think you're trying to make us do is suppose this topic beauty contests are harmful to the society. Suppose I don't have any view about it. As in whatever my views, I put it aside. Then
Hmm.
I am free to listen to others, understand the nuances of what they think, why they think, and all, without being clouded. Every sentence of theirs being clouded by my judgment of what I think or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. If this objective is important to you, yeah. Okay. So let's pause, or rather let's stop the activity here. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sure you'd like to go ahead and discuss these topics, but let's pause it here and let's go back. Let's go back to the last almost half an hour we have spent on this activity. What does it tell about our habits of mind? What's happening here? All this while, this last half an hour, what's been happening?
So, Ratnesh, what I understood is I think we've really, genuinely, we've really never cared about somebody else's point of view.
No, 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 no.
It's
You're going back
always,
to the activity. Forget the objective of the activity. The activity is over. The objective is also over. I'm saying, what does it tell you about your habits of mind? Uh, did you experience your own habit of mind?
So I think
Yes, I do experience.
Yes, even I did experience.
we just reply to the question that's posted to us, or
No, that's just the
uh,
behavior. But what's the habit of mind?
the habit of mind is the need to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Habit,
Okay. Habit
the
of mind is to be heard. Okay.
The habit of the mind is to prove ourselves right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the habit of mind to ourselves, right?
Protect my beliefs.
Maybe to protect my belief. Okay.
be accepted.
Irrelevant to be.
Mm, okay.
My thoughts.
Okay. So you guys got some idea. I mean, even if we can't put it pinpointed on words, that's okay. Words are anyway limited in what they can describe. Um, so, but you got the whole idea. So, what we are talking about um, is that there is something that is operating in us, uh, which is making us do things in a certain way. Not necessarily that that is right or wrong. That's not the point. So when you started doing this activity, I stopped you by saying, "Hey, what's the objective?" So what was I doing? I was helping you become aware as to what are you doing. Yeah. In the same way, when you started doing the letters, the colors activity, uh, you would have realized that, oh, I'm not doing it right. So that's like an awareness. Okay. Um, then you move to that next level and say, but do I really want to do this? Right? I don't know whether you want to do this or not. Whether, for example, you want to do that color activity or you want to do this activity, which is to understand others' point of view. If it is important to you, then you would say, okay, let me try some way of doing it, like a strategy, right? One strategy could be to ask the other person, hey, what is your point of view? Another could be very tentative about your own point of view, right? I think like this, but I'm not maybe sure. I think this is like this about whatever, that's beauty pageant or whether it's marriage or any topic for them. What do you think? So I can invite people to share or get their little datas and involve others and uh, because so I can involve different strategies. I'm sure if you start thinking that understanding others point of view is important, I'm sure you will soon come up with lots of different strategies. Yeah. So if you're kind of getting the idea of what habits of mind is, um, as I said, it's a question of uh, how I operate. Yeah. And essentially we believe that there are 4 steps to it or 4 stages to it. We start with an awareness of a habit of mind, then we understand why it is important, and if we understand why it is important, we start coming up with our own techniques or strategies to be able to do it because it's important to us. And if we do it over and over again, it becomes a habit. Yeah, I put an example also on the slide. When there's a small child, let's say, goes to school, starts going to a preschool. The child doesn't even know about time or the concept of punctuality. So the child is not even aware that there is something called as punctuality. Uh, but then if the child is going late, then the teacher punishes, or the teacher reprimands, or whatever, or the child feels I'm missing some activities because I'm late. And then the child starts understanding the importance of, I need to be on time, because either I need to respect others, or I will not miss things which are interesting. And if the child thinks that that's important to me, as in coming on time, then the child will start coming up with strategies. Sleep early, I'll ask my dad to drop me in time, and so on. And once I kind of work on it a number of times over a period of time, it becomes my habit. Then it's very normal for me to reach in time, be punctual. So if I take punctuality as a habit of mine, then that's one. I would call it as a habit of mine. By itself, uh, either I want it or I don't want it. If I want it, then I'll figure out a strategy. Yeah? Um, does that kind of make sense? Let me speak a little more, and then I'll take your thoughts and questions. I want to give one more example for you to understand this a little better. Uh, in my childhood, my mom told me, "Beta, you should make timetable for your studies." Right? Now, when she told me that I should make timetable for my studies, which step you think she was on? Was she on awareness, on understanding, on strategy, or habit? Where was she?
Habit.
Strategy.
Strategy.
Yeah. So,
No, it was just a awareness for you.
no, it was not an awareness. It's a tool. It's a strategy. Making timetable is a strategy to do what? Yeah. Why do you make timetable? To do what?
Study.
To be particular.
Maybe to be particular, to be organized, to better manage your time. Yeah. So by itself, it was not neither a habit nor um, um, nor an awareness. It was a tool given to me, and like all dutiful sons, I picked up the tool, made the nice timetable, and did not follow it from next day onwards. And then she came again. "Arey, beta, you make your timetable again, make timetable again. No, 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 this is not working for you. Please make timetable again." And I again made the timetable and didn't follow it from next day onwards. Why? Because she gave me this.
Because it was not a first step.
Pardon?
Because it was not the first step. It was the
No, no.
third step.
What was missing?
Your wish was missing.
Yeah, wish or
Burning desire.
yeah, but the burning desire has to come from understanding. If I think
Yes.
to manage my time is important to me, then I will figure out my tool. I don't need, if I need help, I'll go to mom and say, help me with the tool. But finally, unless I think it is important, why will I even think of a tool? So now look at it, because as parents, we tend to give children a lot of strategies. Better do it like this, better do it like that, do it like this way. So we are doling out strategies without understanding. And if we don't have, and the child doesn't have understanding, then the strategy will soon stop being implemented. Say thank you to uncle, auntie, without the understanding of what is gratitude. Right? That's when it becomes mechanical. Now you would say, no, 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 let me still give the strategy. Maybe the understanding will come later. Fair enough. I'm not against it, but I'm just trying to give you the perspective that finally, if we give, if we work on awareness and understanding, then the child will figure out the strategy, and that strategy will be child's strategy rather than my strategy. So you can decide whether you want to give strategy or you want to give awareness and then understanding, uh, and let the child come up with his or her own strategy. Yeah. But the habits can be anything, and obviously when the child works through his own strategies, it, according to me, it becomes habit faster, better, because it was child's strategy. It wasn't something which I had to drum it into the child. Right. So yeah, let me now take questions. So any thoughts on what are habits of mind? Does it make sense to talk about it? um, these four stages. Any questions, any thoughts till now? Let's take a pause.
Yeah, I want to go back to that objective which you had given, the activity we were doing last. That
Mm-hmm.
objective was to get others' points of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I felt that it's really important every moment that I should get others' point of view, then I may feel I would may feel disconnected with myself,
That's your
because
belief.
yeah, that's my belief. So it's fine, or matlab,
Your choice. It's your belief. Yeah, if you feel that no, my point of view is more important than others' point of view, or I need to have a balance or whatever, that's your perspective. I'm not trying to
yeah,
say
need to have a balance. Not
maybe.
important, not mine is important, not others is important. Like you need
Okay.
to have a
Okay,
balance, because if
Pooja, I need
yeah.
some money. Okay.
Hmm.
Can you
Hmm.
please give me some money? I don't know how much. I'm not telling you for what I need. In fact, I'm asking this to everybody here. So, all of you
Hmm.
here, can you give me some money? Please type out the amount in the chat window and I'll send you my bank details. Personal bank details, nothing to do with ROE
I,
Sharoi. Right? I need some money. Can you all give me some
hmm.
money? And please write down the amount in the chat window.
I would like to know the reason why you want
I
money.
I'm not giving you the reason. I'm just asking you all to give me some money, whatever amount you want to promise. Okay, don't give me gyan toy and I get your own money. I don't want gyan. I want money, right? So please don't.
I can't give you
Okay, Savita
without
is
knowing
giving
the
me
reason.
3,000. Savita is giving me 3,000. Thanks, Savita. Others, give me some amount. Put it in the chat window. Come on. Okay, Priyal is giving me 1,000. Come on, guys, do better than Savita and Priyal. Come on. Wow, Shilpa is not giving anything. Oh, wow, Lakshmi is giving 10K. Toyn is only giving 1 rupee. Gayatri is giving how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 lakh. Awesome. Gunjan
Oh my
2,200.
god.
Twinkle has gone to lakh also. Lakshmi is giving 200. 1. Ho, ho, ho. Let's wait few more people. More money, more money, more money. I want more money. Come on, people who have not written any amount, you can write. People who had you think you have written a smaller amount, you want to give more, you can add more, no problem. I have no limit to my greed, so please give me money. Okay. Don't tell me your stories. Give me money. No, no, no. Give me money. Write an amount, Bharti. Okay, Priya is giving 12,000. Awesome. Okay, anybody else? More money? No? Ah, Bharti is giving 10K. Awesome. Okay, so let's take a pause. So, 30 seconds back and now, Abhishek, what's that? Your car number 1618. Okay, sorry. So, from 30 seconds back to now, or maybe a minute back to now, how am I? I'm assuming all of you actually assume that all of you have transferred whatever amount you have put it in the chat window into my account. Now, compared to 1 minute back, how am I?
You're richer.
I'm richer. Okay, cool. Right? And how did I get richer?
Just ask.
By asking. Do you get
Wow.
my point? You want to if I share my money with you, do I get richer? Not really. But if I ask you for your money, I get richer. In the same way, if I ask for your views, suppose I ask 20 of you your views, I got 20 times richer.
Oh my God.
Now you decide if you want to be richer or you want to whatever prove your point of view. Now I can prove I have a lot of money in my pocket, but what will I gain out of it? So the point
It's
is,
what a person can give, actually.
sorry. The point is, sorry, somebody was saying something. I missed your thought.
I think it's whatever the other person can offer or give
Sure,
you. Like
sure,
in this,
sure. So when the topic is on the
doesn't give any
screen,
reason.
a- absolutely. So when the topic is on the screen, it doesn't matter. I have so many people to take their thoughts from, whatever they want to give. 1 rupee is fine. 1 lakh is fine. I'm getting richer. I'm getting richer from their experience, from their perspective, from their gray cells. That's the whole point. Now, if that is important to you, now you will figure out how to make it into a habit. What I'm trying to say is that, to me, the key is this whole thing about importance. So I need to be aware, yes, but more important, I need to understand the importance of a habit of mine. If I understand the importance of a habit of mine, then I can figure out a strategy. Now, if you can understand the importance of this objective, right, then you can, I'm sure, figure out a strategy in your day-to-day life, how to do this, how to understand others' point of view.
So, Ratnesh, I just wanted to say, does
Yeah,
it
yeah,
mean
go
we
ahead.
make a list of the habits of mind? Because
Pardon?
everyone need not have,
I
we
didn't get
need to like make a list of habits of mind,
you.
our
Well,
own habits, like be conscious of what these habits are before we start seeing whether we want them or not.
or you can start with what habits I want. Forget what you have or you don't have. Instead of analyzing, just say this is what I want, or this is what looks good, this is what sounds good. And once you
Hmm.
think that a habit of mind is something which is attractive, then you can figure out ways to make it into your habit, because you can start working on the strategies and soon it will become a habit.
Okay.
In a way, you have done that already. Lot of things were part of you. You realize its importance, and sorry, a lot of things may not have been part of you, but you understood it's important during your life, and you started doing strategies on it, and that's how they're part of you. So you've done that. It's not that you have not done that. You've done that with many things. It could be punctuality, it could be anything, it could be sensitiveness, or it could be, I don't know, there can be so many more, right? But the point is, so I'm not trying to say you don't have obviously you have an operating system, which is an amazing operating system. But the idea that, yes, I have an operating system, or I have a set of habits of mine. Now I can see which other habit of mine do I want to work on, or whichever I have, is it truly my habit? Do I want to make it into my habit? In which case, do I want to strategize, or do I want to understand more? Similarly, if we are talking about children, um, you know, uh, can we help them become aware? Can we help them understand? And then maybe they will strategize.
Ratnesh, I have a
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
So, I was just thinking maybe another step, aware, understand, and with children or anybody, the desire to, even if you're aware, even if I'm aware, even if I understand that the desire to do it,
Okay, so
like
understand, and yeah, it's included in. You're right. Understand means understand the importance. If you
okay,
understand the importance of something, you will have the desire. So okay, maybe the understand word is not a great word. I should change it to importance. So first is awareness. I know something is there, then I feel that this is important to me.
okay,
It's even like a product. Maybe one day you came to know there is something called, like, let's say, WhatsApp, let's say, and then you said, I don't know, I don't understand this. Okay, maybe I don't know why people are using it, but then you got to know the importance of it, or then you said, okay, let me also, get it into my phone, or let me buy a smartphone so that I have a habit of WhatsApp, sorry, with me, and now it's your habit. You use it like a daily thing. So so the understanding, desire, importance, it's all the same thing. Actually, I like the word importance more. Right? When something is important, you will automatically want to adopt it and figure out a strategy to do so. Right? Okay, so let's take a break now. It's a good time to take a break, and we'll come back and we'll kind of shift our gears. If you think you've kind of broadly, vaguely understood what is habits of mind and understood the awareness, importance, strategy stages, then we'll kind of now move on to children, and we'll see how we can understand working with the children, and how these can be uh, you know basis of doing a lot of things with them. Yeah. So how long a break you want today? Yeah, um, yeah, that's okay, Tara. We can pause anytime, right? I just want, to me it's like a logical time. And okay, Wrinkle says 14 minutes. So my clock is 9:27. So we can come back with 9:41 maybe. Oh, somebody's saying 13, somebody's saying 14. Let's make it 13 and a half. So we'll come back at 9:41 and a half, right? And
Okay.
yep.
For example, kind, and to choose kindness for the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
What was coming up for me was that you have to. It's not about acting, but it is about embodying kindness, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to become kind. Like when you're talking about putting cutlery on the table, you're talking about all the day-to-day activities. You have to like literally become kindness, and that is what can be the biggest example. And it's mainly a reality check for the parents
I'm not sure if I understand you. What do you mean by become kindness?
to really embody, to just have that, I would say, energy of kindness with you. It's not about acting kindly,
Mm-hmm.
like it's not about acting kind,
Mm-hmm.
but it's about really becoming kind. Because children, if you're angry but you are saying nice words outside, children get it. Like if inside you there is anger,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're still saying nice words, giving a fake smile, fake kindness, it doesn't work.
Sure. But
You
but
have to
but but what
really
happens if I
choose
don't even
and become.
embody it? But what happens even if I don't embody it? Even that is fine till I am open to explore it, understand it, look at it, rip it apart, analyze it, and so on. Does that make sense? So it, yeah, meaning
Yeah, that
I don't know.
does. Yeah.
So yeah, I personally don't even think that I need to embody anything, because again, I could be kind one moment and unkind one moment. So yeah, I know it's not about being kind. It's about wanting to understand and explore something. And if these are important to you, the habits of mind, then you are all the time ready to um, yeah, explore these in many different forms. So let us do some quick activities. And something interesting happened today. We forgot to resume the recording, so I just realized now I've just resumed it a minute back. So after the break, we have lost a little bit of recording. uh, yeah, somebody somehow I also forgot, and somehow nobody else also reminded me. Okay, that's part of the deal. um, let's move ahead. Okay. um, Let me just go back to my presentation. Okay. um, okay. I want to go to this slide, yeah, and we will do three small quick activities to look at how we can work on habits of mind, right? Assuming that these are now, not assuming, now knowing that these are important to you. So we're talking about three kinds of working. One is that when something is going on, can we help increase the awareness. Okay, when something has already happened, like that incident about I going and getting angry with the shopkeeper or waiter and then coming back in the night, then we use reflection, and we can always plan for the future, as in what we want to work on, right? um, so let's do three quick small activities to kind of understand these. Yeah. um, right. So any thought on this? So I've kind of divided the work into three time zones, during, before, or after, because each has a different mode of operation. Okay, no thoughts means good news. Let me move forward. Okay. So right. So I want to do a small activity on awareness. Um so I want you to do a small activity. And the activity will come in the order on the screen. You just keep doing it. Yep. The instructions are pretty much on the screen. I'll also read it out. Okay. The first step is uh, you. Sorry. Right. So I want you to do this with your left hand. Take a moment to observe your five fingers. Uh, what do you think about each finger? So take a moment to actually look at each finger and think about that finger. And once you have thought about each finger, choose which one you want to represent you. Choose any one finger that this is me. Yeah, go ahead, do that. I'm assuming you have talked to each of your finger and you've chosen one finger, which is you. Now do the step 2 of this activity. Now draw a dot in the center of your palm. You can draw it using a pen, pencil, or even an imaginary dot. Try to touch the dot with each finger of the same hand, one by one. Yeah, do that. Touch that dot with each finger of your same hand, as in if you've chosen left hand, all the left hand fingers. Now, once you have done that, how do you relate yourself and people around you to the different fingers? Okay, we'll move to the next step. The next step is just try this with the right hand. If you were doing it with the left hand, try this whole thing with the left hand, the dot in the center and so on, and just observe what are your thoughts and feelings. Okay, last step, draw a dot in any other part of your palm, or you can actually try with many different dots. Just explore different points on your palm and see which fingers goes where, which finger is able to touch. So for each dot, try all the five fingers and think of many dots in your palm and see where each finger is going. And then think in terms of what is important to you when you compare yourself with others. Okay, and once you have finished the whole activity, so this was, according to me, an awareness activity where you're just aware of what you're doing, you're aware of your thoughts, you're aware of your feelings. in some way. Obviously, I was prompting it. So this was just a small example of how we can bring awareness while we are doing something. Yeah, something as simple as playing with my fingers. Right? Any thoughts, questions?
I have few thoughts, Ratnesh.
But not on the activity. I don't want you to share your
Yeah.
thoughts, what happened while you were doing it. I want you to now, the activity is over, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
want, yeah, share.
Yeah. So what means I had chosen thumb as my
No, 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 no.
fingers.
Wait.
Okay.
That's
Okay, fine.
exactly, that's exactly what
Okay,
I'm
okay.
saying. You
I
don't,
will just share the okay,
no.
okay.
What do you think
Uh
about bringing in this way? This was just an activity where we made you aware of your thoughts and feelings while
mhm.
you were doing something. So I'm saying, what do you think about how we can make, let's say, children or ourselves aware while we are doing something? This was just as an active example. So you don't have to share the contents of the example. Rather, what did
Okay.
the example tell you?
Yeah. So first thing is when I was relating my activity with something that was running in my mind,
Mm-hmm,
then I was able to explore those things.
mm-hmm,
Like there was already you had mentioned some things like how you relate to others. So
mm-hmm.
when I was running through that example, I was the background in the background that thing was running in my mind, like how I compared
So you
myself
were
to others.
making, yeah, you were making different, your thoughts were relating to each other. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was easier to make sense of what I was going through when I was doing the activity,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to make sense of the relationship of that, and I could understand it very easily rather than somebody teaching me those things.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I actually learned many things. So as I'm not allowed to talk about that, so
Yeah.
I will just share the experience, like what I learned.
Sure. Sure. Maybe I can put it in Slack and you can share it, or you can put it in Slack and share your learnings or thoughts from the activity.
Yeah.
Yeah. The point is not about, yeah. So Praveen, the point is not
The,
about what were your thoughts while you were doing the activity. Now we're trying to see what it does when you are conscious of your thoughts and feeling while doing an activity. So awareness is a very subtle thing, and we can easily increase the awareness, let's say, of a child or even my own, when I'm doing something, when I know what I want to explore, when I know what I want to relate it to. So if I know that I want to relate it to this thing, then I can prompt the child, let's say. So for example, when we're doing some activity, we can suddenly pause and say, okay, everybody take a pause and just think, what are you feeling right now? Or everybody take a pause and think, where are you on, let's say, perseverance or listening or forgiveness or acceptance or whatever. So many words were there. So this is like, suddenly pause, think about it, and then move ahead, and then suddenly pause,
Right.
think about it, and move ahead. So you are in touch with your operating system.
one more thing, just I would like to share before I stop.
Sure, sure.
Uh, yeah, I learned like there are some things we never explored, and when we explore it, another kind of feeling comes when you are accepting it without any regrets.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
So that feeling came into my mind, like, okay, fine,
Sure.
there's some things are impossible, then fine, no problem.
Mhm. And I
Like that.
hope you also realize that how simple an exploration can be and how
Yeah.
lot we can bring awareness about.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be some whatever rocket science activity or some major thing. You don't need to
Yeah.
download from any internet website. It is just very simple things, as I said, setting your dinner table, exploring your fingers, cycling down the road, anything. Anything can bring in so much of awareness.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move to the next activity. Sorry, Tejas wants to say something.
Nothing. By just closing eyes for 5 minutes, I can talk to my child like,
Yep.
what are you feeling now? What are you? Yeah, I got it. So he's just got it. That's it.
Okay. Now let's do a reflection activity. Yeah. You can read the instructions, but I'll read it out also for you. Okay. Think of a recent conflict you had with somebody. Take two similar objects, say two pens or two sticks or even two thumbs. Represent yourself with one and the other one for the other person in the conflict. I'm assuming you pick up a conflict which is like one to one, not one to many people. Now play out the conflict, speaking as if you are speaking for the two persons. You know, you're speaking for both the people. Use the style of speaking of each person in that situation. If possible, use the same dialogues. Do not speak aloud, just act out the conflict in your mind. Do the whole sequence. Yep. So you act out the whole conflict in your mind the next 2 minutes, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. If you are done, obviously don't share the conflict, but share what this whole way of reflecting did for you. It was a very simple thing, but let's see what it did to you.
One thing I observed is I don't even remember what happened there at that moment. Like I was not able to recall all holy sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So and that the thing those things were holding so much importance for me at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But as at this moment I don't even remember the whole sequence. I am not able to act on that sequence.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is Tejas. I got a solution.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
This is real. I think I could have dealt with it better, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this Lakshmi. So when I was enacting with both the thumbs, this time I could think of okay, what might be this circumstance that that person said this. When I fought, I never thought about that way. I was just focused on what I was feeling wanted. This time when I was seeing when I was speaking out for that person also, I was like, maybe this might have been the case with that person that they felt this way.
Okay. Yes, Darpan. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think for me actually it made me it made me see the other person from a distance. So
Mhm.
that helped me to look at where the other person is coming from.
Right. So, yeah. So this is just a very simple reflection activity, and I'm sure you can think of thousand more. The idea of I just wanted to show the simple magic of how we can go to a particular habit of mind. So conflict versus understanding is such an amazing habit of mind. Um, and it's important because we would invariably be into conflicts and invariably require understanding about ourselves and about the other person. So this is the power of reflection. I don't need to do anything. I just gave a tool, created a space, and that's it. uh, but the child can actually reflect and learn so much. I'm not saying the child would otherwise be not reflecting. Maybe the child is reflecting, but maybe the child is not reflecting. Or maybe the child is only reflecting in one way, saying that person is bad, that person is bad, that person is wrong, that person is wrong. But when we bring in a different way of reflecting, a tool, a way of yeah, a reflection tool, yeah, a reflection method, so then suddenly it opens up a different perspective. So that's the whole idea. Okay, so let's do one more activity. Yeah, sorry, somebody wants to speak.
Yeah. One more thing that I want to say is, like, when we were doing the act of this, then we were not having the thing in mind that that person is bad.
Hmm.
We were having only the conversation in the mind.
Hmm.
But like you told, like in the other cases, there could be a scenario that when we are talking to someone about that person, we already have that image in mind that person
Yeah,
is
yeah,
bad,
yeah,
and we are starting the conversation from that image.
yeah, yeah. We may even go and complain to another person. See that person,
Yeah,
how horrible he or she is. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, correct.
Yeah,
So that at least in this situation, I that image went out of my brain
sure,
itself.
sure, sure. Okay, so let's look at the third one, which is the plan one, right? Uh, so for the plan one of the things that we do is we plan in advance. What is it that I'm going to work on? So I've just for the sake of this small example, I've chosen that we'll work on perseverance. Are you all good with that? Right, but obviously you can choose to plan anything else. So suppose I'm going to do something tomorrow, let's say I'm going to whatever, do this activity. So I can even before knowing the activity, I can choose. So I'm choosing perseverance and I'm asking you to choose perseverance. But you can actually choose anything else also, right? So when you're doing the activity, you have to give special, let's say, attention to whatever you have chosen. In this case, perseverance. Are you game with me? Just give me a quick why in the chat window so that you're with me. I know you with understood what I'm trying to say. So we'll do the activity in the next minute, but special attention on perseverance, right? Okay, there you go. This is the activity. Wait. Sorry. Okay. Oh, I'll read it. So you're about to do a task. Perseverance is your main agenda. Think of at least two ways in which you persevere. What will you specifically do to self or do when you get stuck? Say to self or do when you get stuck. So, which means that you're actually pre-planning. How will I persevere? What will I sell do? What will I say to myself? What self-talk will I do? So do that. Do that right now before we go to the task. You don't even know the task, but you've chosen the habits of mind, or the HOM. We call HOM for short for habits of mind. So you've chosen the HOM of perseverance. Did you get that? What is the exact meaning of perseverance? Oh, what is the exact meaning of perseverance? To keep trying in different ways till you get what you want. Right. Okay. So I'm assuming you have chosen at least one way of what you will say to yourself, or one act that you will do when you get stuck. Realize you're choosing it even before you know what the activity is, right? Okay, let's do it. The activity is think of any of your favorite song. Now sing this song in the tune of Happy Birthday to You. Go ahead. Right now, don't do it on the mic. You can just do it. Uh, if people are sleeping around you, you can just do it in your mind, or you can do it. However, you can do it aloud, even if you want to wake them up. Yeah. Does anybody want to come on mic and sing for all of us? That would be a fun way to
I
end today's
yeah,
session.
I want to.
Please go
I,
ahead.
I I want to sing the proper patola. Okay, so proper patola nakra a swag suit patiala chunni teri black.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay. The obviously the important part is, uh, did you see any difference in choosing a habit of mind even before you started an activity?
Yes, it give a
Yeah.
nice boost, you know. Sorry.
Yeah, it means we had to plan before I could even start singing the song. I repeatedly acted how the tune of Happy Birthday to You is, and how I will
No, no,
match
wait,
my
yeah, 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 yeah. So don't get it. So the idea is, yeah. What did that do to you? The fact that you had chosen see, otherwise you would have just done the activity.
yeah.
It might have involved perseverance, might not have involved perseverance. But what did this do that you had to before even taking on the activity, you decided that you will focus on perseverance? What did this act of choosing, like how Tejas was saying, a chit out of a lottery box? Okay, today I am working on perseverance. What did that do? That is what my question was. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Right. It is not the rocket science. So what we have talked today to me is very, very simple. And as I keep saying, to me, it's also very profound. It's also a way to understand. If you if you look back at 3 sessions, we started by saying, what do we want? Do we want to empower the child? Then we talked about, hey, so what do we use? The creativity. The child is creative. The child has the ability to create his own wisdom, his own thinking, his own way of looking at things. And now we're saying yes. And if we look at what are the key ingredients which the child will be using to be leading himself, which is the empower part, to be creative, is these operating habits of mine. And if I can work with the child, so this becomes my way to work with the child, or you can say the agenda to work with the child, if you want to call it the agenda. So 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 to me, all these three are actually one session, if you really look at it in its entirety. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock. Let me end with a very quick, short, tiny little activity on how to work with. Sorry, a tiny little story. It's a cute little funny story. Uh, so I'll just tell you the story. It's a Mullah Nasruddin story. So Mullah Nasruddin gave a very delicate glass, piece to his son, and he said that you have to deliver this to whatever, blah blah blah, and this person's place. Hmm? And then he slapped his son. So his friend asked him, "What is it? Why did you slap him?" So Mullah says, "What's the point of slapping him after he has dropped and broken that? So let me slap him in advance only." That's the story. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Ratnesh. Thank you.
Good
Good night,
night.
everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Good night,
Good
Ratnesh.
night.
Right.
Thank you.
Good night.